Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of the show. And on this episode of the show, I wanted to talk to would be investors and already investors that are buying land in Lagos for residential purposes to look at a report, very interesting report by the people at Estate Intel. They have really, really good data and it's a subscription service. So I subscribed so I can get access to some of their data and it's really, really marvelous. So this one shows the residential market size in Lagos, Nigeria, 2022. So should you invest? What are the key pointers? And let's actually check this report out. So market sizing information. So the residential supply trend and market size. So this is a graph of Lagos housing stock and completions. So this is all the way from 1978 till now, and you can see how it has increased from just below 500,000 homes slash housing units to a little above 1.5 million. So a total of 1.52 million housing units and greater than 2% average annual growth over this time, year on year. So there were around 1.531 housing units in Lagos at the end of 2021. The stock is currently growing at annual rate of 1.3%, which is slower than the population growth rate in the city of 2.5%. So you can see already that there is a market. We talk about housing deficit in Nigeria. Depending on who you want to quote, people are saying 17 million, some people say 22 million, some people say 20 million. So the population is actually growing larger than the housing stock. But let's drill down to this supposed market. So only 32% of total demand is met by current supply. So this is a pie chart, and this shows you the housing demand and then the housing supply estimate. So only 32% of the total demand is met by current supply. 3.18 million households without formal housing in Lagos. And this figure obviously be bigger. And that's why developers are making a lot of money because people want homes. And we are only talking about population regarding what the bureau actually calculates. A ton of these people are actually Nigerians in the diaspora that want to come back. People don't want to work all their life abroad and live there. People actually want to come back or invest in Nigeria. So we are seeing more and more, to this number. So with a total population of 23 million people and an average household size of 4.9 people, Lagos has 4.7 million households. Household stock currently sits at 1.52 million units. This means that there's an estimated 3.8 households without formal housing. As Nigeria is among the poorest countries in the world, most of these households will require affordable housing. So, in as much as there's the market, what this report is also alluding to the fact that because Nigeria is quite a poor country, some of these people, even though some of them are looking but are not seeing what they want, or there's just not the availability, a lot of these people cannot afford homes. Even people in the diaspora, I can't tell you the long list of people that come and they tell me, oh, do you have NHF, National Housing Fund? Do you have mortgage? Do you do mortgages? And these things are not working. In developed countries, in places like the UK, every developer is given a quota. So if you want to get land and develop, especially like in the busy areas and like premium areas, you have to have maybe 14% stock, 20% stock that should be for social or affordable housing, which means that you literally build it and then you just hand it over, and or you give it to the government or you give it to maybe a particular NGO or the council to administrate, or a foundation to administrate the affordable housing, so people can actually get cheap, and some people even free housing. So the solution to this figure, 3.18 million, is not more houses, so to speak, more expensive or more capitalism. Is actually more affordable housing, because a lot of people cannot afford homes, and developers cannot actually build affordable housing because cost of materials are going up, cost of cement is going up, cost of road is going up, everything is going up, and most of these people that are borrowed in dollars, they have to return their investment in dollars, and naira is devaluating. So no developer, even developers that are even being paid, they are they are defaulting on delivering. So you don't even expect the ones that are not even giving anything to come and give you a free house, affordable housing. So that's a myth. So it's government that actually should provide affordable housing or incentivize developers to be able to do affordable housing, because that's the only way we can meet this. Okay. Now, this is the residential market, typical product characteristics. So, I love what they did here. They kind of categorized the market. What is affordable housing? What is luxury? And then the one that sits in the middle of it is deluxe. So, what would we call a luxury property? So, in a luxury property, you expect to have a gym. In a deluxe or middle income property, you will not expect to have a gym. Affordable housing, you know, okay, you would expect to have a gym as well. So when I asked them, they told me that this deluxe and middle income is, it may look luxury, but it's not in a prime location. Deluxe is, the houses look luxury, and they have all of these amenities here: gym, swimming pool, basketball courts, tennis courts, green areas and yard, and then a prime location. So you're talking about places like Ikoyi, you're talking about places like VI, you're talking about places like Ikeja, you're talking about places like which other place in Lagos. So, but you cannot call a house in Aja luxury. It's deluxe. You cannot call, even if it's a mansion, Abraham Adesanya. People say luxury living in Ekpe or Aja, or like, what should mean something, ladies and gentlemen. So, but in a deluxe property, you will not expect a swimming pool. You not expect a nice swimming pool, a basketball court, or concierge. So I think this should more should do of acreage, so you have more land. So most people that are just slapping anything, and then you don't have a swimming pool, you don't have basketball court, you don't have concierge, you can't call that luxury. And so make sure, if you're paying for luxury, if they're charging you premium, these are the things you should have and you should expect. So spa, squash court, and cafe are nice to have, even in luxury. And I don't think there are many that have this. But green yard and areas, they are expected even in a deluxe. So you're seeing all of those, even Lekki 2, Scheme 2. There are lots of deluxe housing there. So typical apartment sizes for luxury properties range between 110 square meters to 480 square meters on average. For middle income properties, they range between 60 square meters to 200 square meters. So once again, don't manage if you're having luxury. You should not have anything less than 110 square meters. So this is just the categorizations that these guys they did, and they are basing their report on. So the next one, the rental market size. 51% of Nigerians are renters on average. So this is the percentage of people that live in their own homes. 31% live in their own homes. The 51% rented accommodation. Then you have a lot of people living with friend or family in a home that they own. Most of us started like that. Then living with friend or family in a rented home. Most people also fall under this bracket, living with their guy. till they're scared of their feet. Then others, you know, some people just pull up a shack. This I met somebody that was telling me about. We used to call it back then bachas, but I don't know what they call it in Lagos. That you literally go to the slum and just people still pay for those land, so people can pay the landlord 60K and then they just come and erect with planks and then they start living there. So this will fall under others. It's very, 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 very sad. The source is NOI polls, Gallup, and also NN Estate Intel. Now, this is the rental breakdown by region. For investors that are looking, sometimes people ask me, outside of Lagos, where can I invest in? Where can I invest in? So you're looking at the southeast. Southeast has the greatest proportion of renters at 66%, followed closely by the south. So you're looking at you're looking at places like Anambra, Imo. You're looking at those Abia, those states. We don't have a more drilled down view of the particular states that this came from. And we're looking at south. You're looking at Rivers. We're looking at Bayelsa. We are looking at those Niger Delta regions in the south that a lot of renters, and this only makes sense because there's the oil companies that are there, oil servicing companies, and these people and their families will want to settle down. Their expats as well. Although we are seeing in the recent years, most of them are coming to the southwest, Lagos, and other places to live because of kidnapping and some other reasons. So then we have the southwest where you have Lagos among other states. So this is the national average and north central. No data for the northeast, northwest. Let's go to the next. Inflexible payment structures. So Nigeria ranks or is categorized as a rigid payment structure state, especially Lagos. So in the past, developers who choose to hold their properties in lieu of selling compensate for low rental yield by collecting multiple years of rent upfront. And Lagos has the most rigid. In fact, there was a time that people were even collecting 2 years. Right now, some people ask you to pay for 1.5. That's 1.5 years. And it's just not done in other places in the world. Other places you pay monthly. So Nigeria is very, very rigid. But other African countries like Gabon in Botswana, and Johannesburg in South Africa, they have very, very flexible payment structures with no upfront required. So Nigeria needs to move from very rigid to a bit more flexible. I think there was a law that was supposed to be passed for that in Lagos, but there's another way that we can look at it, because in some places the average rent in per month can actually pay your rent in Nigeria. But I guess that you have to actually account for the economic realities in that place. In that regard, Nigeria is very, very rigid. So this is something investors may like, because if you have people paying upfront for 1 year, then you can actually account for vacancy or other losses. If you have maybe a building of 1,000 units or 100 units, so when you're going back to your balance sheet, you're going to know quite on time, so that you don't have to struggle with, oh, these people are not paying, just all of those things. So I think that kind of proposition will be attractive to investors, so that they can know the occupancy rates quick enough. And if somebody wants to crash out or maybe exchange their lease, it doesn't bother you because you've gotten your payment upfront. So these are the key residential market players. The key residential market players. So we have Pautin Morgan. Pautin Morgan, they are a holding company for both grenadines and property mart. So if you're conversant with the Oniru area, there's I've been there before. They have this property called Twin Towers, and they are the ones that are doing that, moderately luxury sort of stuff, and the market segment is low. Yeah, because property mart, the other holding company, has properties in Ibejuleki, land for sale in Ibejuleki. That is yeah, property mart. They have property in Ibeju, Lekki. I've been there as well, and their funding strategy is off-plant sales, and the investment strategy is disposal with property management service. So this Oceana that they mentioned in Oniru is no longer in the market. I asked why, but they didn't tell me why. So Mixta is what Landway tried to be. They have hectares and hectares of land in Lakwe. That place is really, really massive. They have different housing. In fact, they want to start up their own city there, honestly, because they have low income, they have the Marula Park, then they have more upscale stuff like the village, Obudu. Now they're selling Ule retirement sort of site and service. So very, very big company. They are publicly listed, and the market segment is middle and low income. So they have sponsor funds, and they also have off plant sales. So I believe they have institutional investors, and yeah, that's awesome. Good for them. Then these are the other major players: Prindex, UPDC, the guys that did Osapa London, Pinnock Beach Estate. They're the ones, and they also have Festival Mall in Ikeja. They have the only surviving rights, the biggest rights right now, the Real Estate Investment Trust. LSDPC is a government agency. Freedom Way, Likpeju. You can see most of their stuff there. They also have sponsor funds and off-plant sales. LSDPC Estate in Yaba. They have one in Ilipeju. They have one in Freedom Way. Scattered around Lagos. Brains and Hammers. They're in Abuja. They're in Lagos. Kind of big. First World, FWC. They only sell C of O land. They are also like in the segment of who most of the developers that we like to, actually in Etiosa and Ibojileki local government area, Shango Tedo Access and those Abuja, they are very, very, very active there. And this is FWL Lekki. Still the same. Okay, this is another developer. So this is a snapshot of the major key residential market players. They bring out residential homes and they sell it off. So we don't have many build to rent where the developer builds and manages the rent, because of, first of all, people are not, the market index is so low that developers are not willing to hold for such a long while. So they just want to get the capital investment back. So these are the key residential market players. Snapshot of other sectors. So I'm going to be doing a video on these other sectors. So that's just a snapshot of residential. And if you're thinking of investing in residential, look at the players that are here, look at what they are doing, and look at also the stats of the deficits in housing. But there are also other areas. I had a client, another client as well, right? Recently, they are getting stuff in Alaro City, residential. I told him, "Oh, why don't you get something?" He said he has no business in commercial. People are seeing. Just look at the market share right now. There's a considerable amount for within Lagos, Novare. So the Novare Mall at Shango Tedo. These guys have a considerable retail market share within Lagos, and then you have High Prop. High Prop is Ikeja City Mall, 17.4%. This is whopping. And then we have Pesinas, the Lekki Palms, Lekki Palms guys, and then you have others, that have. So it's also an area that you may want to think about buying residential property. You can actually build a mall and then charge rent, and most of these guys, they actually get their share in dollars. They charge in dollars, in USD per square meter. So that's also what you can think of. The hospitality market as well. Echo Hotel Group, Ikeja Hotels and Tourist, Aviation International, Milan, SFAX Group, Ocean Wild, Oriental, and then you have others. They said there were just under 10,000 quality hotel rooms in Lagos as of 2019. Most of the stock is owned by small domestic companies or HNIs, high network individuals. Yeah, so Avalon International comes in second place. They are the largest owner of branded hotels in Lagos. 412 keys with Radisson Blue, a Radisson Hotel, and Park Inn by Radisson in their portfolio. So both the Radisson in VI and the Radisson in Ikeja is owned by Avalon International. So then office space as well. Key asset owners within the space include YF Construction, African Capital Alliance, and Afriland, all of whom own properties in key locations across the city. I've seen some of these guys, Afriland's office space that they're now selling in Lekki Phase 1 and some of those access. So this is just a snapshot of investing of the residential market in Lagos, and this is what will concern many the rental rates if you are building to rent, and also the deficit. The demand is really lower than the supply. Rather, the other way around, the demand exceeds the supply. And so, if you are thinking about investing in Lagos, this is a good time. We have stuff in Lekki, we have stuff in Ibenju, we have stuff in Ekpe, and you just contact me. We'll do the math, and I'll be able to guide you to your next investment and profitable areas. So, like I said, shout out to these guys, Estate Intel. The reports that does give you a breakdown of. Thank you so very much for watching. This is Uche Philippe Emondi from my Ownahome.ng TV show. We believe that owning a home, owning a property should not make you lose sleep. So we are committed to giving you the very best property recommendations and insider real estate gist. Thank you so very much for watching. See you at the very next video. Bye bye.